summer chill. Well, it is kind of getting into fall, so I guess we need a fall version of the song. Hold on, let me turn it down. Ooh. Oh, there go one. Hey, 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 hey. This one is called Chill Motivation. See, we have options in this bitch. Hey. What's up, Catrice? Kayla, Doris, Cartier, Nina. Okay. Hey. We need some. I'm just getting to the money. Well, we would be just getting to the money if, YouTube wouldn't be trying to flag her every time I pick a song. I like this one though. Hold on. What's Zill's at? Zill's in the room yet? Zill's, I ain't recording the chat. You can come in. Just Zill's, show your face. Jersey in the house. Okay, Tremaine, Angelique. I hope y'all had a wonderful Wednesday. I've got a lost track of days. Is it Tuesday or is it Wednesday? You know how you have I took Monday off for Labor Day. You know how you have that one day off a week and you come in like it feels like a Tuesday, but it's really a Wednesday. So that means we're going to get to Friday a little bit faster. So this particular stream I scheduled to talk about the Bobby Brown story, which is coming back on, in about an hour or two? Let me turn this down. Off. Turn this off. If you haven't already visited StraightFromTheA.com, I posted the entire full part 1 episode of the Bobby Brown story. Now, I didn't get to see it when y'all got to see it, so I couldn't live tweet it, but I actually watched it like late last night, and I wrote the recap this morning. You said you can't get with it? First of all, the Bobby Brown story is based on his book, Every Little Step, which came out about 2 years ago, and I wrote about some of the things last year, the year before, especially okay, let's start with the first. Okay, I'm on the site for those of you who want to read along. The Bobby Brown story picks up where New Edition story left off. Woody McClain reprises his role of Bobby Brown as the story covers Bobby's solo journey. The dramatization revealed quite a bit of hot tea about the self-proclaimed king of R&B, including Brown's short-lived relationship with Janet Jackson in the 80s, how he cheated on Whitney Houston, right before he proposed, and that his current wife, Alicia Etheredge-Brown, has been in the picture since the 90s. Bobby was something else when Bobby was throwing it and popping it, and it was his prerogative. What's up, goddess? Okay, so on the site, you'll see, I posted a little picture of Janet and Bobby back in the day. Janet and Bobby had covered a couple of magazines at the time. They were dating, and it wasn't like one of those relationships that were put together by the label or whatever. They were really cool. So the details, the few details that they showed, at least according to Bobby in Every Little Step, the two superstars were hot and heavy for a brief time, and in one scene, Woody McClain as Brown shows up to Jackson's house with a car wrapped in a bow for her birthday. He was like, I can't forget your birthday. And then, they had this hot and heavy love scene. So it was it's obvious they weren't just dating, they weren't just friends, they were getting it in, right? So, Janet told Bobby she wanted to keep things on the low. She didn't want to tell nobody. She didn't want to be seen out with him. He was kind of upset about it because at the time I think she was dating not El DeBarge. Who was the DeBarge she was dating? Was it Jack? Wait a minute. She was dating one of the DeBarges, one of them light-skinned singing dudes from the DeBarges. And, Bobby was in his feelings about that. On the show anyway. This is his versions of events because we haven't heard Janet's version. So, she wanted to keep things discreet. And Bobby wanted to take the relationship further, but Janet was hesitant, and Bobby confronted her saying, is it because I'm dark-skinned? He was talking about her family wanted her to date a light-skinned man, and wanted her to choose the light-skinned DeBarge over Bobby. It was James. Thank y'all. Thank y'all. Thank y'all. He said Chico. Chico was the bald headed when they got out of jail. They had that one album that was fire for a hot second. Oh, she was with Renee. Oh, okay. Okay, but well, she was dating a DeBarge at the time too. But anyway, um, Bobby wanted to take the relationship further. We already know. It was a little scene that Bobby revealed that they left on the cutting room floor of him kicking Janet out of the hotel room naked. I guess BET didn't want to step on no toes, so they was like, we cannot confirm or deny that you kicked Miss Jackson, if you nasty, out the hotel without no clothes on. We don't know. We didn't see it. We're not going to take your word for that one, but, they let him tell his story as is. Twitter is going crazy about him revealing the situation with Janet Jackson, even though he revealed it in his book. Hold on, let me go back. I'm going to go to the book when I wrote about it last year. I'm going to put this link in here for y'all. Back on June, no, it was a year before last, June 13th, 2016. Can y'all see that link I just put in there? Hold on. In his book, Bobby revealed that he was dating Madonna and Janet at the same damn time. But he said that Madonna was a little too wild for him. Madonna was out there, so he decided, Janet would be a better bet. So that was why he chose it. He said, hold on, he hooked up with Madonna in 1989 in a recording studio bathroom. He said, we got together a few more times, but I wasn't interested in dating her, Brown says about Madonna. She was just too wild, even for me. So Madonna was too wild, but Janet was his speed, and he claims he fell in love with Janet after they secretly hooked up, but threw away the relationship when she refused to deal with him publicly, which is what we're seeing in the thing. He said in the thing, that she would not leave Elizondo Jr. for him, and she told me she wasn't in love with me. She loved me but wasn't in love, adding that the singer told him, my father won't allow me to be with a black man. Brown wrote in his book he kicked her out of the hotel where they had been lying in bed and having sex. I exploded and I threw her out. Brown says he had been crushing on Janet since the 70s. I fell in love with her when she was Penny on Good Times. Brown told US Weekly. It goes back that far. My infatuation with her. So, for those of you who haven't checked out the book, y'all should check out the book as well. But the dramatization was, a bit good. But anyway, Whitney and Bobby's love affair, we get to see a little bit about that. We saw how, he wooed her and pursued her, even though he was still kind of off and on with his baby mama. And his baby mama actually got pregnant again when, the day before he proposed to Whitney. It said another interesting fact revealed during part 1 of Bobby Brown's biopic is that he claims he didn't know that Whitney Houston had a drug addiction until their wedding day. In that scene, Bobby discovers Whitney doing cocaine before the ceremony. He walks in and he see her sniffing, and Robin is there, and Robin take the plate away, and she just looked at him and said, now you know. I do coke sometimes. So that was how, per Bobby, he found out about her coke use. It say when he started, when she started, when they started together, if he just hopped on board, if he started before that, if she introduced him, we don't know. As you know, the couple was notorious for their drug usage. And things got so bad that Whitney would send him out on late night runs to secure more. The entire revelation sparks debate. Which came first, the chicken or the egg? The world may never know the truth, but we can all agree that the result of the drug abuse, what the results of the drug abuse did to their lives and the lives of their only child. It was all tragic. The baby mama drama, we all know Bobby had several kids prior to marrying Houston, but what we discovered during the film is that Brown got Whitney and one of his baby mamas pregnant at the same damn time. Whitney lost the child, unfortunately, during filming of The Bodyguard. and she would later go on to have Bobby Christina. But it was the revelation that Bobby knocked up his baby mama and then flew back to Atlanta to propose to Whitney during that time. Granted, he had no idea the lady was pregnant. He didn't know. He just knew they had sex. But whatever the case, he knew they had sex without a condom that could produce a child. But the encounter resulted in a baby. And around this time, it was revealed that Bobby's current wife, who is Alicia Etheredge-Brown, was in the picture back then as well. In fact, Alicia was in Brown's life going back to the 90s. But the film doesn't reveal if they were actually an item or, involved in some way. I have a sidebar in my post about Alicia. Alicia, did you know that Alicia was one of the rump shaker girls in Teddy Riley's 90s group Rex and Effects? She was in the video. She was the girl who had the saxophone and the rumps. All I want to do is boom, zoom, 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 and a boom, boom. She was in that video. So that was pretty interesting. He said Alicia was smashing Teddy Riley. What? Oh my goodness. Oh my god. Y'all got the tea in the comments. Then, I would be remiss if I didn't talk about Whitney's alleged lesbian activities. Robin was around every bit of the way. If you go to the site, there's a picture. I wish I could turn the camera around, but I can't. But there's a picture of Bobby, Whitney, and Robin together, like an old picture of them. And, at the biopic ad speculation that, Houston was a closeted lesbian who maintained a long-standing relationship with her best friend, Robin Crawford. Crawford and Brown never got along. And it shows, during the film, they argue. And there was one scene where Bobby told Whitney, it's her or me or whatever. And no, Robin told Whitney, you're not going to stand up for me. You're going to let him talk to me about that. And then, Whitney grabbed Bobby's hand. And so it was obvious who she chose. So Crawford and Brown never got along. And there was always tension between the two as the episode depicted fights between both of them. The film always insinuated that Robin was always somewhere lurking around in the background. So several scenes you'll see Robin in the back. Robin, behind her. Robin, picking up the slack. Robin was always there, as if she was somewhat jealous of Whitney's relationship with Bobby. That's all I got for now. I want to hear what y'all thought about it. If you haven't watched it yet, again, the entire episode is on the site for your viewing pleasure. Part 2 comes on tonight at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So, hey Zills, I see you finally made it in. If y'all want to talk about the Bobby Brown and what y'all thought about it, what y'all picked up on it. I may have missed some things because, I was trying to look at it fast. I didn't look at it with everybody else and see what people were saying on social media. I know everybody got their opinions about what was spilled, what wasn't spilled. The phone number 646-224-5980. The PIN number 840-3583. Let me put that in the chat really quickly. If you would, please circulate that for me. Let me go in here. Girl, they're going to be calling in talking about other shit. I see you, Jezebel, but we're going to keep it on topic today. Did y'all not see I scheduled this 3 hours ago to talk about Bobby Brown?
You are currently the only person in this conference.
We going to talk about Bobby Brown. Oh, shoot. Hold on a second, caller. Let me get in here. I didn't even get in the chat yet. Here we go. Caller 7850, you on the line.
Hey, Michelle, it's Robert from Twitter.
Hi, Robert. Good. How you doing?
I'm doing well, so I just wanted to call in quickly and say that I haven't been able to watch the Bobby Brown thing, but I did get a hoodie, so thank you. I was able to get the red one, so I love it, and it should be here in 3 days.
Oh, cool beans. Send me a picture. I want a picture of it.
Yes. Yeah, I will. I will send you a picture. And so I'm about to go to your site and watch the Bobby Brown movie now because my sister wants to talk about it later. And I'm like, I haven't watched it and I haven't been able to like look at it online. And she wants to watch the new one. I think she said it comes on tonight. So really quickly, is it like a mini series or a multiple
I
part
think it's a
movie or
two.
what is it?
It's a 2 episode series, so it's only 2 parts today and yesterday. So you watch tonight, you'll be pretty much caught up. I mean, watch the one from yesterday, you'll be caught up for tonight. So, and it doesn't come on
Okay. And
tonight.
hey, Jazzy Bell. Hey, Yolanda. All right. All right, Michelle. Love you as always. I'll talk to you later.
Thank you, Robert. Thank you for calling in. I appreciate you.
You're welcome.
Bye. Caller 6196. You are on the line.
Hey, Michelle.
Hey, who am I speaking with?
Tamika.
Hey, Tamika.
What's going on?
Child, just up here talking about this Bobby Brown, honey. What did you think about it? Did you watch it last night?
Girl, okay, so I got a whole lot of tea.
Uh-oh.
But I don't want people to be like, oh my God, get off the phone. But we'll talk. Maybe I'll be in you. But the movie was good. It's just some stuff I was like, what? But I really liked the movie. I ain't even gonna lie. It was very entertaining, especially like I think like the last hour. I was kind of iffy about Alicia being there as much as she was in the movie, but I guess, not necessarily that they were close, but like, I could see her being in the industry. Like you said, she was dealing with Teddy Riley, so was he, so maybe they were like industry friends.
Okay.
A long time ago.
Okay.
So now it's all coming together. Now that I'm listening to you.
Okay.
So I'm like, okay, so maybe.
Yeah.
But I wasn't feeling the part where she sat up there and kind of convinced him to like go check on Whitney and like, oh, you're just nervous. Basically like convincing him. I don't know about all that. It was like, whatever.
Well, I mean, being that, he was, executive producer, whatever, co-writer. Yeah, exactly. She co-wrote it. They're married. So I'm sure she had to put her little 2 cents in. I remember I was there too. I said this, I said that. So, that's not surprising, I guess.
Yeah.
She want to be a part of history.
But I don't know. It's just so much he say, she say with the whole Whitney and Bobby situation. I feel like now that his story is out and it's his words, I think we should just let it go after this. As much as I love Whitney, like she was my favorite singer. I met her a couple times.
Okay.
She signed my CDs. Wonderful person. Never, when I seen her, she didn't seem high. That don't mean she wasn't high. I didn't put nothing past her. I ain't saying all that. I'm just saying, like.
Right. But I mean, think about it. Like,
yeah.
there's already been so many biopics. There's Bobby Christina had one. Whitney that had 2. Remember the Lifetime one was horrible. And then Pat that did the Whitney documentary that I don't know how many of y'all actually saw it, but that's in theaters or whatever. So how many times do we gotta hear the same stories over and over in a different way? Like we know they both was on cocaine. We know the situation that happened. We know the news footage. All the things that happened while they were together. All this little adding people to the story, adding Janet, adding Alicia, adding. I mean, do we really care about all that at this point?
I'm with you. Like, the only reason why I was interested in this because I am a Bobby Brown fan. And 2, because I feel like, okay, well, he was actually in the marriage. They were together 15 years. So,
right.
Yes, I want to hear his perspective. But after that, yeah, I'm done. As far as this Bobby and Janet thing, at first I was like, what? But no. If you think about it, he was the man. So all this stuff on social media like, oh, my God, Janet could have did so much better. Do you remember how
Bobby was the man back then.
Album was? He had
right.
like 5, 6 #1 hits, and like he was the man.
Right.
Don't take that away from him.
And he had been in New Edition too. Remember New Edition? Everybody want all. Remember then when Bobby went solo, it was like
he came from a platinum selling group to doing, that like 5-6 million on his own. So he was the man.
Right.
So I can see why she would want to be with him. I can see why Whitney wanted to be with him.
Right.
Because if you watch I'm talking about old footage of them together, they really do seem like they were happy. Like, especially like around the Bodyguard time, it seemed like everything was for them. He was at the top of his game. She just did this movie. So I can see it.
Yeah. I mean, it's fun. And then on the heels of the New Edition story, I think it was just only right to give Bobby Brown his story. After he got kicked out of the group, we want to know what happened. Like now, if they start doing a Ralph story and a BBD story, I mean, I don't know. Is that next? You know what I'm saying? Like
I wouldn't mind seeing a BBD story.
Okay.
I don't need to see every member, but I wouldn't mind seeing a BBD story.
What about the Johnny Gill story? Was it the Johnny Gill story?
Oh, goodness. But he ain't gonna let that happen. He's still bitter, which I don't blame him. He's still mad that he got left holding the bag when he was showing up to every show.
Yeah.
And then he got sued and had to pay. And I don't blame him.
Yeah.
I don't blame him.
Yeah.
I just want all six of them to get together. Like I was with Mike on Michael Business when he was on the Breakfast Club saying they left so much money on the table after New Edition story. He said they had so many offers.
I'm sure
he was
they did.
I'm talking about money, and they just couldn't get it together.
Right. That's sad. That's sad. It's so sad.
It is. Well, I don't want to hold up the line. I just wanted to get my little 2 cents because this movie's about to come on at 9. I'm about to be here for it because I'm telling you, part 2. I think part 2 is gonna be like
part 2 gonna be good.
back.
Yes. Let me get my popcorn and my wine together, honey. Thank you so much for calling.
All right. We'll talk later.
All right. Bye-bye. Again, if y'all haven't seen it, the entire episode is over on the site right now. If you want to catch up before part 2 comes on, it is over there, the entire thingamajigget. Caller 2950, you're on the line.
Hello?
Hello.
Oh, okay. Hey,
Hi.
Michelle, this is Goddess. Okay, this is something I want to ask you and the chat.
Uh-oh.
Okay, when Whitney was pregnant and she lost the baby, did the movie actually say that she was on dope before, like while she was pregnant? Could that be a reason why she lost the baby? So that's what I'm kind of wondering too. So I don't know.
They
showed her smoking before the wedding, but then she had just lost the baby too.
Right. So he didn't find out till the wedding.
So she was doing dope before Bobby, so she could have smoked and lost that baby.
I mean, that's true. But we don't know.
So I'm just putting that question out there. I ain't going to hold y'all too long.
Oh, Kayla said in the chat that he said in the book he didn't believe that she was pregnant.
Well, she told Bobby she was pregnant. She came to him when they first met. They were sitting
They were in the studio. She came to the studio to give him the good news. And then they found out later that the baby mama was pregnant. At least that's how the story goes on that we saw on BET. Now, we don't know what the timeline is in real life, but yeah. It's interesting.
So, Robin was the girlfriend that they used to say that, you remember back in the day when she used to have a dog? And they used to say her best friend was the dog. But they actually used to say she was a dyke back then. I don't want to
What?
People might get mad with that word.
Yeah, probably.
But that's what a lesbian. They said she was a lesbian back in the day before Bodyguard. Was it Robin? I'm just really asking a lot of questions.
Maybe. Robin has always been there. So it's always been Robin that she was linked to. I mean, I remember back in the day, she was also linked to Eddie Murphy and some more people. But yeah, she was linked to Robin. You ordered the book today? I'm going to have to get the book too to see what Bobby was talking about.
Yeah, I'm going to get that book. Because I'm kind of glad that Bobby got to talk because actually Whitney family and her friends and stuff like that had put the brother down. Like he was the one that put her off on the dope when she was smoking. And she had the most money, yes.
Right.
She has the most money to smoke that man clean out of his, whatever, to another dimension. So they shouldn't really disrespect the boy like that. And Bobby was young.
Yeah, he was young.
He was younger than Whitney. And they made him look like, all the pressure that he went through after and how they treated him at the funeral and all that was total disrespect. They disrespect that brother. They didn't even want to let him come in.
I remember.
Like he did something to her.
I remember. Well, thank you so much for your input. I appreciate you.
All right. Bye, Michelle.
Bye-bye. Caller 3145. Caller 3145.
Hello?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. This is Ms. Carl. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. I was finna chime in after hearing the lady just speak. I said it would be wrong if I don't say anything. I remember Bobby Brown bringing Miss Whitney Houston to Miami, Florida in Liberty City riding her around, took her to Burger King. Honey, she was sitting out there with Uncle Al, and everybody was showing her love, and she had on some jeans and went all dressed up in mole dresses and sitting down having her a good time. They wasn't doing no dope. They were just having some good old black fashion fun.
Okay.
And, you know, a lot of people say stuff about Bobby Brown, but just the lady say, you remember when he was popping and hot and was on the award show, and she was like, she just had to have herself some Bobby. When he was down there grinding on that floor, honey, she was stuck every second.
You know, because Whitney gave him that nickname, the King of R&B, didn't she? Because, I mean, she rode for her man.
Honey, when he was down there rocking that thing, and Whitney was captivated from that point, and she went out, really, she went after him, and his mom didn't even want him with her because she was older than him, and she didn't think he needed to just go, you know, in the lane he was in.
Right.
And you got to understand, Whitney was up there with the big dogs back there, the Beatles, Michael Jackson, they was doing hardcore drugs. Bobby was just a poster boy. That's why he ended up feeling like he was feeling, because he was just really like the dude boy after he got in. They just wanted him to come bring this and that because she was what was happening.
Right.
But when he took her out of her element and put her around other people, and just like the baby mama stuff, most of them live right here in Miami, Carol City, Liberty City. Everybody knew that was in the 80s, 85, 86, 87, 88, going on in the 90s. Let's take it all the way there. And when she was riding in the vert with her and him, and helping with the maturing he had with this other woman.
Ooh.
So Bobby, her and Whitney was down. They was Bonnie and Clyde, but they wasn't even getting. They looked so beautiful. She showed a lot of love to the black community, and I just feel like the way they try to dog him and display, it's just no.
Yeah. Because they both played a part in you know, the demise of the marriage and the demise of their careers.
To that Hollywood life, because he was never used to the Hollywood life. He didn't even know. I mean, you know, we couldn't do, when he came and seen it was just open like that. Look how Cat Williams even said when he first went there, he was like, is that Professor Oakley right over there? You know what I'm saying? Like, y'all doing this in Hollywood. He didn't know nothing about how these people could just openly do drugs. They couldn't do that out there like that.
Right.
So, you know, it's like, you know, I feel like the way that they really tried to set him on fire and not really, you know, call the ace of spades what it really was, because Bobby Brown really was the victim. He lost everything. His little money, everything was tied up. Everything went to her family. All Bobby little money was just gone.
Yeah.
So he didn't have no experience. They knew that.
Yeah.
So, you know, I'm just gonna call. I feel like people need to be honest, and I'm glad that he is getting a chance, and people allow him to speak. You know, he lost his child as well, and you know, and a lot of his dreams was killed down because, as you remember, with the New Edition thing, they was trying to say, you know, leave Whitney alone. Remember, they was like telling him when they were rehearsed that she was coming to the rehearsals and he couldn't stay focused because he was all into shit. I put that whipper pill on him.
You know what I found interesting too? Remember when his baby mama was like, "I must not be famous enough for you," and he was like, "No." Like you're not, or something to that.
But Whitney let it be known when she wanted something, and just to be a woman. He was a younger man, and when you a woman, come on, we can tear down nations, honey. Them girls ain't have a chance with him when it came to Whitney, because she wasn't the one to be nippy, wasn't the one to be played with.
Right.
And everybody knew that.
Right.
So I'm gonna leave y'all letting them to the chat, but I just want to say I just remember them seeing them in person and her being locally in the local neighborhoods, and it was so much love, and I just hate to see it ended like that. But he was good to her when I saw him in person with her, and this with Uncle Al, everybody, when they was, just so much love, all about local radio stations and stuff. Whitney came all in the hoods and everything. Ain't nobody, wasn't no security, no nothing. Ain't nobody got out of line because they knew Bobby was about their life.
Yeah. Okay. Well, thank you for your input.
All right. Thank you, Miss Michelle.
Okay. Bye-bye. You know what's funny now that I think about it? I remember, didn't like Bobby and Whitney, didn't they get divorced like around the time like Bobby cleaned his act up? He was clean before Whitney was. Like he really like cleaned up and was out of there. And I think that was one of the reasons why the relationship ended the way it did because she wouldn't stop. Like, she was too deep.
She would, and and that's the thing. But he took everybody put the lash on Bobby back and not looked at the fact that what really had took place, because she was more famous and everybody looked at her as this princess. But Whitney had a dark side before Bobby just got caught up in the rapture of it. You understand? So really, he was the victim of that situation, and he just went on in because he tried. He even tried to leave her. She was doing hardcore drugs when Bobby met her.
I wonder if we'll see some of
with
that.
Clyde Davis to go pick up stuff for the ones that was up there in the studios and couldn't leave.
Yeah, it'll be.
So I really I feel sorry for her. I know a lot of people, even my mom. She she got her own point of view, and I be like, at the end of the day, let's just be fair. Let's be real about this thing about what happened.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate you calling. Let me get into this chat right here.
I do too. I wasn't gonna call, but I'm like, let me say something. I did see the sister and the brother, but I can't just sit back and act like I can't testify to one truth that I know I saw, and it didn't come through the grapevine. I saw this,
Look, I saw some things too living in Atlanta, but I'm gonna talk about it in just a second.
Exactly. So I like that you give people, the view, point to just say, let everybody put their thing out there. And everybody sum it up and take from what they want to take from it, but don't just try to spray the guy like he was totally it wasn't even like that always. It wasn't.
Yeah, it wasn't.
Okay, Miss L, thank you so much, and everybody.
Thank you. Bye-bye. If y'all remember being Bobby Brown, Phaedra was one of the co-executive producers or co-creator. She was something on Being Bobby Brown. But anyway, Being Bobby Brown was filmed all around Atlanta, and during that time, everybody knew Whitney was on the verge of just off the chain. Well, they both were. I'm not gonna put it all on Whitney, but they both were. But it was around that time, when Bobby went to jail, when he came out, he had stints where he could possibly get clean. In jail, he wasn't doing no drugs and all of that. So, Whitney was just, anyway, she was just out the chain. Let me see what this chat's saying. Hold on. Phaedra was Bobby's lawyer. Yes. But I'm gonna put this link in here from the Being Bobby Brown pilot episode if you want to see it. But and there's this thing about why it's never re-aired. I don't think it's either her estate. So there's a reason why Being Bobby Brown hasn't aired, and you can't buy it anywhere, because I don't think they can agree on the terms, and she's not around, and that jazz. So anyway. But yeah, there's some of it still on YouTube, some of it still online that you can see, but a lot of it, y'all just missed out on, because Being Bobby Brown was the greatest. Caller 6196, you're on the line.
Okay, I'll never usually do this, but I have to call back. Hey, Michelle.
Hey. I know. Okay, what's up?
It's Tamika.
Hey, Tamika.
Question. Well, you was talking about Phaedra. And yeah, I don't know if you remember, but Bravo and Andy Cohen had even said, and that's why I was surprised Phaedra got fired, because he had said, he was like, as long as she want to be on Housewives, she will be on Housewives, because she gave me Whitney Houston and Bobby Brown. I will never forget he said that. He was joking.
Phaedra's been a part. She was a part of Bravo for a long time, but you got to also think Bravo is about that cash. You know what I'm saying? And so, as far as the Real Housewives is concerned, when she crossed that line and started lying and doing the manipulated things she was doing to help the storyline, to manipulate the storyline, making up that lie, feeding it to Portia, knowing Portia was dumb enough to say, you did this, whatever, without saying who did it. That was a violation, and the whole network and the production company could have got sued. So Candy stood her ground, and Phaedra is history because of it, unfortunately.
Yeah, exactly. Girl, I got my whole other opinion about that, but sticking to the subject, because that's a whole other situation.
Right.
But yeah, I remember that. So when you said that, I was like, oh yeah, she's right. She had been around and affiliated with Bravo for a very long time. And Andy, she brought the mess. I told you, she brought the show that changed the dynamic of Bravo. because it wasn't like that.
Yeah, it wasn't all about reality shows. Exactly. Being Bobby Brown was it. It was the key. So anyway,
it was a key. And back to what the lady had just said, she's so right. I'm glad somebody said something about, you know, just the love that they witnessed. Because it's like, okay, we can say this, and they gave us great stuff. But say whatever you want about Whitney and Bobby. They gave us stuff that we still talking about to this day, okay? So,
Buddy and Clyde, Whitney and Bobby.
One thing you can't deny is that they did love each other.
Yeah.
They did. I just kind of wish that they could have got clean together, because you could tell they loved each other.
Yeah.
They were just toxic.
Yeah.
Just freaking toxic. And I don't trust Pat. I think everybody was out for stuff when it came to Whitney.
Yeah. I mean, even if you see that documentary, she was taking care of her entire family. The entire family was on the road with her. This was, you know, before Bobby. Like, she was, like, her brothers were her bodyguards. She was paying everybody. Her father was doing her accounting. So, yeah, it was, her whole situation was unfortunate.
And let me tell you, Pat knew what she was doing. And I'm not really trying to throw her under the bus, because she saw opportunity and she weaseled her way in there. She was somewhat in the industry, or had some insight to the industry, met him first. He was a fledgling, but, you know, he tried to get into the NBA, but couldn't pass the drug test. He was all messed up. His first wife couldn't deal with him. And it's an interview that said that, too. She was like, yeah, you know, that he was too far into drugs. And she even said, as far as Whitney, it was kind of like real light. She was like, she wasn't really doing it like her brothers were at the time. That's what the first wife said. And she left him alone, and supposedly Pat cleaned him up, and everybody just saw her as like this godsend, because he was really bad off, and she somewhat got him clean. So that's why everybody quote unquote trusts her. But now she sits up there and she probably don't do drugs, but she probably do pills and drink all the time. And yeah, I'm just saying, I just think she took a lot of opportunities because she saw weakness there.
Yeah, like, we on Whitney's side, but we need to talk about Bobby's family too. They all bear some responsibility, because, you know, somebody just brought up how Tina sold the picture of the bathroom to the tabloids. She's always been, you know, low key in the background, spilling tea to the media. So, you know, there's always been family issues with the both of them.
Oh yeah,
both of them from the hood.
Too in the chat. Thanks for that reminder, because that's true. Because I remember when that all came out, and I felt bad. I actually felt bad for Whitney, for the simple fact that she thought this woman was supposedly her sister. Like, the girl had even said, like, chronologically how they got started. And I believe her story. It was just the fact that you sold her out. But I do believe her story. She said she was already doing drugs. She was like, the first time they did it, she was like, Bobby was in jail. And they were just laughing and talking. Whitney called her deal, and she was like, they got high, and they started being get high buddies. And she was like, hey, I wasn't going to turn down no free drugs, because she admitted she was a stone cold crackhead. So I'm like, okay, so you're using this woman that pays you, because I guess she was supposed to be the housekeeper. She pays you to be the quote-unquote housekeeper. She giving you drugs as much as you can do, whatever, and you still going to sell her out? I'm like, okay, that's sad.
It is. Well, thank you again for calling back. You know, I appreciate you.
I'm sorry, but this whole situation, I always think something's going on with that family. So when we talk
with
about
the
things, be like, what?
Yeah.
All right, bye.
Bye. Thank you. So y'all over Bobby? Y'all over Bobby? He said Whitney was surrounded by users. I think in any, and I hate to say any entertainment family, but a lot of times when, you know, a lot of families are like that. As soon as you get money, paying for everybody, but I'm not even gonna go there. Come through with the family camera. I was playing. I didn't want y'all to see my dirty office, but I was playing with it. I was trying to. Hold on. Like, this is supposed to be bigger than this. I don't know what's going on. Yeah. So, anyway. Y'all talking about football. We talking about Whitney and Bobby. Zills, how you gonna come and troll and change the subject, Zills? Don't make me block you, moderator. Anyway, I'm looking forward to seeing what BET has in store for tonight. And again, if you haven't seen the episode, the full episode is over on StraightFromTheA.com. I wanted to also come back and talk about the Facebook Live shooting situation. I just posted it over on the ATLien channel. This woman and her lover, this woman was on live and her lover actually brandished a gun and fired shots at her while she was live on Facebook. I've been watching it all go down. I was going to do a post, but I decided to go ahead and do a video, but I was going to do a post on the site later. She's on Facebook even right now defending the girl because I guess the girl hadn't turned herself into the police yet. And she was like, you know, she loves her. It's her fault. They have a toxic relationship and all this. Girl, you was on live and that girl shot at you. You could have died. Like, it is just so interesting. The things that y'all would put on live stream. But anyway, you guys, yes, it actually happened yesterday. The police were looking for her today. And yeah, I don't know if she's turned herself in yet, but the video is on the ATLien channel. Zills, do I have to ask you to put the video link up, please, sir? If you're not talking about football. Oh my God, here he go. We're not talking about the Falcons. We're not talking about the Falcons. Not today, sir. Somebody asked Zills what his team is, because I don't think he has one. I don't think his city has a team. So how can he talk about somebody else's team when his city doesn't even have one? My goodness. My accent go. Which accent is that? My country dialect? What is it? Which accent is it? My Memphis accent? My Atlanta accent? Which accent is it? GLT. Y'all don't want to call back and talk about Bobby. Y'all don't want to talk about what Woody McClain's portrayal of Bobby and how well he did. I think Woody. I hope Woody doesn't get typecast like I can't even think of his name now. The dude that played Notorious B.I.G. It's like the only movies he in is when he plays Notorious B.I.G. I don't want Woody to be in all movies where he playing Bobby Brown. I want him to be in some more movies. Because he been Bobby Brown about 4 times. Well, twice. But yeah. Scary situation. The woman was wise to stay outside, though. The baby was inside. I agree, Nige. I agree. But I put some of the her Facebook post in there because I was literally speechless. I'm like, this video can go on forever because she's still on Facebook right now defending the lady, telling people y'all don't know the story. She loved me, I love her, she was cheating, da 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 da. It's just crazy. It is crazy. So you said the link, did you see it? I posted it. Here's the link to the video. But anyway, you guys, I will let you go and run along. I'm going to prepare my popcorn and my wine. Like I got a whole hour and a half to do it. And get some stuff done. Since I'm in here in my junky office. How can I zoom in? I'm trying to zoom in. There it is. Oh, I don't want to zoom in that. Anyway, I will see y'all later. If you haven't already, like this video, subscribe to the channel. Go visit StraightFromTheA.com to read the full recap of the Bobby Brown story in addition to watching the full part 1 episode of the biopic. I appreciate you guys for tuning in. I appreciate the callers for spilling tea on who they saw and when back in the day, Bobby and Whitney strolling around. And yeah, I will see y'all a little bit later. I may come back later tonight. Thanks again. Bye, you guys. How do I do this thing?